All right, time for a video. I've been putting this off and just accumulating games, but I figured it's time to show what I've got from September and October. Most of them are online purchases. Sniper Elite 4 is a game I got off of GameFly, or no, I'm sorry, not GameFly. I got this off of eBay, and I think I spent like around $20 on it. It was used, but phenomenal game. I really like Sniper Elite 2, and I really like Zombie Army Trilogy. Sniper Elite 3, I probably would like if I went back to it, but I really like the series, and I think this one's really awesome too. It's a good third-person shooter. It's got stealth and sniping, so it's just got like a simple formula that they've used for quite a long time, and I really appreciate the series. At GameStop, I got a unique little indie game called The Sexy Brutale. I went ahead and got it because it was marked down for $20 when it was released at $30, and I played it for maybe an hour or so, and it definitely is a unique game. Kind of reminds me of the movie Groundhog Day, where you're constantly rewinding time, trying to figure out what's going on in the game, and the whole game takes place in this big mansion. But besides that, that's pretty much all I've really experienced and know about. It's definitely a game that I just wanted to have, and will probably continue to play on and off in the coming years. A game that I was mostly looking to play the game Inside. I already own the game Limbo on the 360, but Inside is very similar to Limbo, like a side-scrolling indie survival platformer, maybe, I guess you could say. But it is a game that, like, I just was able to progress really far just in one sitting. And I think I got pretty close to, I can't remember, I think that there's like chapters, and like it tells you like what chapter you're on. I'm pretty much almost beat it in 2 sittings. And then there's some other games that came in that I just moved on to. But I would eventually probably try to beat it in the next few weeks, and then also I wouldn't mind going back to try Limbo. I never really got very far in it, just because I think I was just playing other games and just kind of lost interest. But I know they're both very good games, and I'm glad I got them. I think I paid like $19.99 for this on pre-order. It was like a Amazon, the price, like a price adjustment. So $20 for 2 games is not bad. A game I'm playing currently, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's a really unique, different type of shooter called, obviously, Titanfall 2. It's not like an obscure game or anything. But what I like about it is I feel like it tries to incorporate new things in a shooter. I mean, I know that there are mech games that have been around for a long time, but it's interesting to have like a mech be kind of like your cooperative sidekick that you can also use to fight enemies, but then also you can get out and he will fight on his own. And then I also like there's parts in the game where you're like doing platforming, like first person platforming. Kind of reminds me of like Mirror Edge in a way. The only way that you can progress through like a particular level is by platforming and running, like wall jumping and stuff like that. And I just bought it for the single player game, and I'm really impressed with it. I got this off GameFly for $14.99, free shipping. So I was just kind of waiting for it to kind of fall to that price. I have a feeling that once we hit Black Friday, it'll be $9.99. But I just was looking for a game to play on my Xbox One, and I like playing first-person shooters, or just first-person games in general on that system. A game that I feel like is really flying under the radar, that very few people that I watch videos are just really not picking up. And I've heard, really good things about this game, especially last around the winter season last year, right around Christmas. This game came out on Steam, and it was like in the top 10 list of selling games on Steam. And so it seemed to be like a really popular game on PC. And then it was ported over to the major consoles, and it's definitely an indie developed game, top down strategy stealth game, but it's not the greatest with a controller. It takes some time to get used to, but if you can get past the I guess the difficulty of getting used to the controller, it's a unique game. I like it because it requires you to think a little bit with using stealth. The only thing that I think is really kind of a negative is that the enemies are easy to pick up on your movements, like like almost like as if they can hear you from like hundreds of yards away, and it just seems like it should be a little bit. The difficulty is pretty extreme, is what I'm trying to say. I think I'm playing it on easy, and I'm still having trouble getting through levels. There's one level I'm at where I just kind of put it aside because of it, but it's definitely not a game for just like the casual player. But if you're up for like a stealth strategy challenge type game, I wouldn't go the length of like Fire Emblem, because you can keep moving your characters. You use like multiple characters, I think two at a time. I've only played like I think three or four missions. They keep incorporating new samurais, and I forget if they're just all samurais or ninjas. I can't remember, but they're different types of players that can do different things, and you could use them in different missions to make the missions more unique. But it's a good game. I think I looked on GameFly recently, and it is down to 14.99. But when I got it, I think I paid 19.99. And this game originally came out at 39.99 in August, and it dropped pretty hard. It doesn't mean it's a bad game. I think it's just not selling as well as they had hoped. But I would recommend it to get it at 14.99 or cheaper. You'll probably appreciate at least the uniqueness of the game for sure. All right, a game that I pre-ordered months in advance. I pre-ordered this on PlayAsia, and I think when I pre-ordered it, I also got free shipping. There was like some type of promotion, and I just wanted to get it versus waiting for the limited run version. I think I tend to like the PlayAsia cover art better than what limited run kind of tends to do. That was the case for like Wonder Boy, and that's the case for this one too. I really like this game. There's a lot of grinding that's required, but it is a really good action RPG. Action RPGs tend to be what I gravitate towards, and the E series is something that I'm beginning to become a real big fan of. So I did not beat it, but I got pretty far in it. I know it's by like levels in a tower, and I'm about, I think, like 75% of it done. I just got stuck at a boss, and I think it just requires me to just like continue to grind so that my characters are a little bit higher. But it's a good game, great addition to my collection, and I'm glad it came out as a physical version. All right, and that I was only, I think, less than $30. I think it was like $24.99 with free shipping, somewhere around there. I mean, these PlayAsia versions versus getting them through limited run. I love limited run, but it tends to be PlayAsia's pricing is pretty good, because I tend to get slammed with like taxes and shipping with limited run, and not so much with PlayAsia for some weird reason. All right, this was a buy two get one deal that I got with GameStop, and so every game was about $20, I think. And so Sonic Lost World, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, and then Lego City Undercover. Just games I wanted to add to that collection. I'm getting pretty close to being done with this console, and the Wii U is a semi decent console. I think it definitely is good. I don't think it's bad, but it's something that I'm glad that I own, I should say. Captain Toad was fun. I remember I played that for a few nights and I was able to beat that pretty easily. It's not all hard, it's not that hard. It's definitely like a game geared towards like younger kids, but it still was fun. Unique. It's definitely different than just playing Mario. But I didn't really play Sonic Lost World all that much, and I didn't really play Lego City Undercover. I think I played each of them like one time. And some of these games I'm just accumulating just to have to play with my son, maybe years down the road. He is only 2, but it's good to have some games that are, something I could maybe play with him versus playing games like that with my son. All right, going over to Xbox One, I got Abzu. This game, man, I bought this I think on eBay, and I was just bidding aggressively on this game, and nobody else really challenged me. And I think I got it for like $7 or $8, and I would say I had high hopes for it, but I remember I watched a video of Metal Jesus Rocks, and he made like a kind of a snarky comment about it, and I just kind of thought that I'm hoping he's wrong, but I do kind of feel that he was kind of right with what he was just kind of making comments that it was a pretty boring game, and I played it for maybe like an hour, and it just didn't hold my attention as much as I had hoped. Like I constantly just kind of wanted to feel like it was like Journey, but I just felt it's not as awesome as Journey. I don't really know why. Maybe I'll give it a chance again, but I mean, for only like $8, I'm not angry that I bought it. So actually, I got this wrong. I think my buy two get one were these 3 games, and yeah, because they all were 19.99. Yeah, I'm the cheapskate that tries to make sure I strategize my pricing. So it was these 3 games, so $40 total, and one of them was free. So that makes it what would that be, like almost $16 a piece. No, I'm sorry, that would be like $13 a piece. I'm doing my math wrong. It'd be like $13 and some change for each game, which is not bad. That's the reason why I usually wait for buy two get ones to buy certain games that I've been waiting for. Lego City Undercover was an eBay purchase, and that's why I was like thinking in my head I wouldn't pay anywhere close to $15 to $20 for that game. But I think I paid on eBay only like legit like $6 like shipped. I think it was like a $4 bid and then like $2 and something for shipping, and that was all it was. And that was like one bid and nobody else bid on it type of deal. But going back to Duke Nukem, I knew that this was a game that I wanted to play. I played a few levels of it, and it's fun running around and just playing like a mindless shooter. But I didn't really stick with it all that long. I ended up switching to some other games on that system. I played through the original Gears of War, the Gears of War Ultimate game, and I think like for some reason I just had a desire to play that. So sometimes like when I try to play games I buy, I just put them down and tell myself, well, maybe I'll get the desire to play it again. And I don't ever have like major regrets in buying some games. It's just a matter of like play the game that you really want to play. And if this is not the game I really want to play, I don't want to force myself to play it, because then I'll start to kind of get burned out with actually playing my games. So sometimes I'll buy a game because I want to get it, and I want to get it before it gets hard to find. And this is a good example of that, because I know I was looking around on eBay, like brand new copies of this are going for $40 and up, and there's still used copies in GameStop. So getting it for buy two get one and making it a lot cheaper that way was, I think, the right thing to do, because I don't think this is going to be sitting in their stores for like 2, 3, 4 years from now, just because it was just a GameStop exclusive, and it's not like they sold millions of copies of this. Um, so some other games I have here, I'm gonna try to keep moving. For PlayStation 1, I got a game, a platformer called Pandemonium, and I tried sticking with this game, but I really only got through like one level, and I didn't want to. I didn't have the patience to stick with it. It's not the type of game that is like a. Obviously, I should have known this. It's not a modern platformer where like like if you die, you start back like a few seconds back. It's pretty much like you die one or two times, and then the levels that you just are over, the level's done, and you have to restart the entire thing. So it's a traditional, not gonna hold your hand platformer from the 90s, and I know that they made a second one, but I think I spent less than $10 on it. I think it was a buy it now, and it's just one game I wanted to get in my PlayStation collection. I'm kind of winding down with the games I want for this system, even though PlayStation, original PlayStation has been a system I've been really enjoying collecting for over the last like 5 years. And I sold a bunch of stuff over the summer, and I've accumulated a bunch of money. So I just kind of picked and choose what are some games I wanted to still get, and Pandemonium was one, and another one that I really wanted, I've been wanting this for years, is Alundra. The Working Designs RPG. It's kind of like reminds me of the Super Nintendo action RPGs. I had it at one point. I emulated it, and I remember emulating and enjoying it, but it didn't feel right not playing it like as the actual game. And I remember when this game kind of like really spiked in price, and I was just like, man, I'm probably never gonna be able to get that. And then I just have been keeping my eye on it in the last like 6 months, and it's for some reason the price kind of gradually has decreased a little bit, and I think I paid like $30 for this. There was no damage to the case. It was still listed as like good, and it is in really good shape. It's only one disc game. The thing that it did not have to kind of keep the price down was it doesn't have a manual, so it's just the game inside. I don't remember if that's in there or not, but I think I might have it in my system. But I like it a lot because it reminds me of games like Illusion of Gaia, Terranigma, even games like maybe Secret of Mana, just action RPGs that reminds me of like the old school generation when that was really like the thing. There's action RPGs that were really, really awesome games. But let me keep moving here. I'm trying to wrap this up before it gets to be too long. On the DS, I think I spent literally like $8 on this just because it's just the game. I just felt like playing a Mario platformer before I go to sleep, and I play this on my 2DS. I got pretty far in this game because it wasn't that hard, and then it kind of plateaued and started to get more challenging. Started running out of lives, but for less than $10 for a good Mario game is definitely good in my opinion. This is something that I don't remember if I mentioned in any of my videos, but I got this over the summer. I made this purchase in like July, and I hardly ever find anything on Craigslist, but I've been keeping my eye out on Craigslist for a PSP, and I came across a guy who was selling a PSP. I think he wanted like $40 for it. It comes with a charger too, but it was like almost as if he bought it like at the tail end of when the PSP was almost dead, and it's a 3000 model, and it looks like he really hardly played it at all and just kind of let it kind of just sit around for years until he seemed like a college kid that was trying to get some money for, just to have, and he sold this to me for $30. It didn't come with any games, but it's in really nice shape. I bought Ease 7 a few months ago, and that was a game I played a lot in like August. And I played it. I always have a bad habit of playing games up to like almost the end. And I just don't beat them, and that's what I did with that. I'd like to go back, but it just is like it's like so tempting to buy new games and just to go into new stuff. Like Ease 8 is a game I really would like to get, and then this is one I got off eBay that I just got the game only. I've been playing this for October. Is Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles, and it gives you like a percentage of how far along you are in the game, and I think I'm only about 25% of it done. But I like it. It's a good. I like the formula of like if you can play through the mission and then you beat the boss, you can save at that point. It's not like you got to sit there and play the whole stinking game. It's not designed like a exploration Symphony of the Night type of game. It's more of like a mission based game. But it is good. I do appreciate that I bought it, and I think I spent somewhere between $12 and $16 on that, just the game. I just wanted to get the game. For some of these, I've been kind of thinking that along those lines. Like for these handheld games, I don't mind if it's just the game, because like I kind of feel that way with handheld. With like actual like console games, I'd much rather have the cases and stuff like that. But this way, it doesn't take up too much space with handhelds, and I kind of have a feeling that I'm gonna get into collecting for PSP, just because there's a lot of like unique PSP games that are getting to be the time to buy. It's just that I think this is a system that's going to be very underappreciated, and it'll be smart to start getting them. If you don't, you're probably going to regret it if you would like to ever buy some of those games, because they're going to be harder to find in the next 5 to 10 years. But tell me if you have any recommendations for any PSP games, and let me know what you're looking forward to in the coming months. I know that Black Friday is coming up. I'm planning on taking advantage of that. But let me know what you're up to, what games you recommend, and I'll see you later.